And welcome to the Writer's Life, the place where you get the sight, sound, smells, taste of my particular writer's life and where you get the truth. I'm not going to go through all the subscribe stuff today or any of that nonsensical stuff because I'm here to talk about Steve Jobs. Um, one of my private detectives, and I have like 5 of them, something like that. They're all friends. They all live in Albany. Um, how do I describe how I came up with Steve Jobs and why is his name Steve Jobs? Because that's the obvious question, and just hearing that last name, you probably fell out of your seat. Um, I think I wanted to come up. It's Jobs with a Z, and it's Jobz. So, but it's short for Jobzinski. So his real name is Steve Jobzinski, and he's Polish, and his family used to run a Polish meat shop in Arbor Hill, which is now a very dangerous section of Albany. So I'm not stealing any copyright or trademarks or anything like that, you know. But I wanted to create a character who wasn't the biggest guy on the block. You know, he loves to fly fish, always unlucky with the women. And he's a failed cop because he was involved in a shooting at a bodega or a stop and rob, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, not the assailant, but the perp was just about to shoot the proprietor, and Steve stepped in and shot the perp. But that got him fired. So he now works full time. His day job is at the New York State Department of Unemployment Insurance Fraud. And his best friend is an African American woman named Henrietta, whom he calls Henry. And they have a terrific relationship together. She is also his boss, and she's tough on him. But oftentimes, Steve is farmed out to the Albany Police Department to do detective jobs that they can't handle or don't want to handle, either because of politics or whatever for whatever reason, or they're short-handed or something like that, or it's just such a weird case, or especially a case that involves like an occupation, like plumbing, for instance. Like Steve's like the perfect guy for it. And the good thing about Steve Jobs is he's got a really, like I think all my detective characters, if I don't say so myself, is that they all have this great sense of right and wrong, and they are willing to break the law to do the right thing. Does that make sense? Anyway, Steve falls in that category, but he's also funny. Jack Marconi, PI, he's like the brooder. Dick Moonlight, he's the crazy one. And Steve is just sort of like the kid who never grew up. You know, like he's middle aged. You know, he's got like this 1966 Mustang convertible, and he's always playing the Beach Boys or the Beatles and stuff like that. You know, so he's just, you know, I guess he's a little bit like me, like that. You know, like my mother's always asking, when are you going to grow up? And his mother, who lives in an elderly facility, is always asking him the same thing. When are you going to grow up? So anyway, everybody calls him Jobsy. So his newest case is called The Plumber. Go figure. And the plot is simple. When 2 people who live in different communities, but near one another, drink the tap water and die on the spot, it baffles the APD, and they call in Steve to try to figure this thing out. And boy, oh boy, do the bullets start flying, and it's trouble afoot, as they say. And that's it. So I hope you make a pledge to my Kickstarter when it's finished, and that you pick up all these books. They'll all be available as rewards. They'll even be like, you know, if you give top tier, you'll even get like all of them or something like that. And I'll even offer up like signed paperback editions, but it'll be more money, of course, because I'll have to send them to you. But you can't beat the deal with me just sending the digital copy out to you immediately. All right, so that's it. Hope you're all having a great day, and I hope to see you on Kickstarter. God willing. Ciao, ciao.